Bitcoin is back up above 100,000 for the first time in the year 2025, but altcoin season is the main story that we want to talk about for the foreseeable future because that is where the massive amount of wealth will be made. And just today, over the last couple of days, actually, we are seeing some major signals you do not want to miss on some of your favorite altcoins. So make sure to stick around all the way to the end of the episode to get all of the alpha that you need for your crypto daily dose. Make sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe. But first, we got to roll the intro. Here we go. I don't know how much of that they heard because I think I was muted there at the end. What's going on, fellas? How you guys doing today? Got Smay down here. Right here. Smay. Got Tshroom over here in my bottom right. How are you guys doing today? Smay, I'm going to start with you.
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
I'm glad to have you. How about you, Tshroom?
I'm doing greater than I deserve, Tim. How are you?
With the exception of the fact that I can barely feel my legs at the moment, I'm doing quite swell. But unfortunately, my legs are swollen. I got tired of just going to the gym and doing squats and deadlifts for leg day. I attended a CrossFit gym today. I'm going to go back. I want to get back into the CrossFit world. But I forgot that when you do weight training with no rest for an hour straight, you use completely different muscles than when you're just doing strength training. So my glutes and hamstrings are maybe literally on fire. I don't know. I have no feeling left in them. But other than that, I'm doing good. How about you? Did you guys get any workouts in today yet?
I got in a little bit of some chipping. I chipped with the wedge. Actually went golfing this weekend and have shown improvement. I won't release my scores so that I don't embarrass myself. But I've been showing improvement, and so is my wife. So we've been having fun.
There we go. Well, listen, Smay, you were golfing this weekend, right?
Oh, yeah, I was. I did go golfing this weekend. And, guys, golfing is not for the faint of heart. And so, it was an uphill battle. It was a struggle. But I did, got a bogey here and there. But mostly just absolutely pooped the bed. But that's fine.
Hey. Listen, it's about trying. It's about trying, and you got out there and tried. Really quickly, we're going to get into crypto talk, but let us know in the chat if you guys would be interested. People have been asking us now for a couple of years, when are we going to do an official bros get-together? Well, we got to figure out something to do. What would you guys think about maybe a golf tournament somewhere in Florida? Drop a comment down below, either in live chat or after the show. Let us know if you would love that and where you would like to see a golf tournament. Who knows? Maybe end of 2025, after we've made our millions, we'll host a golf tournament and meet some of you guys. With that said, are you boys ready to go ahead and get into the actual alpha here today? I'll take that as a yes. Let's go ahead and check out the bubbles. There we go. That's what I was looking for, Tshroom. Thank you. Bubbles here. A sea of green. As I said in the intro, Bitcoin back up over 100. In fact, Bitcoin's back up over 102,000. We're going to take a look at that here in just a couple of minutes. But a whole sea of green. That is very friendly to see, with the exception of a couple outliers. There are a couple coins in the last 24 hours that are in the red, but for the most part, crypto is going big. Even some of the coins we told you guys late in December, keep an eye on these coins. They could have massive Januaries. Coins like Injective. We're talking about that a little bit here on the show because there is some news there. But you'll love to see it. Portfolios are up today, and it's making me very, very happy. But also what's making me happy, before we get into the altcoin conversation, because again, altcoin season is upon us. It's looking a little different this year than it did 4 years ago or 8 years ago, but I still believe altcoin season is here. Let's check out what Bitcoin is doing first, though, because in case you're wondering, maybe you're new here and you're thinking, is altcoin season when Bitcoin collapses and dies? No, it traditionally starts with a Bitcoin pullback. And again, this cycle, we predicted a 15 to 20% pullback. What did we get? Roughly about a 15% pullback right there. But even during altcoin season, Bitcoin can continue to rally to the upside. It just traditionally goes a lot slower than altcoins. I'll comment more on that here in just a little bit. But I want to talk about Bitcoin price, because if you were watching our show last week, we did tell you the line to keep an eye on to confirm the upward trajectory and confirm that the bottom of that pullback was in would be for Bitcoin to get above 100,000. Now, technically speaking, it's not enough just to get above 100,000. We also need to see candles start closing above there. It'd be a nice start to see today's candle. Again, we have a couple hours left in the day. It'd be very nice to see Bitcoin close above 100,000. What would be even better is if tomorrow we open and close candles above 100,000. That to me would probably be the seal, like the final nail in the coffin to say, guys, the bottom of the Bitcoin pullback is in. We're going to the upside. What I want to pay attention to, though, we're going to see this on several other coins as well, though, is that buy signals are starting to flood in. Of course, we had been talking about last week, Bitcoin does have a prediction to go a lot higher here. We just broke out of a falling wedge pattern that still has a target for Bitcoin up here at $105,000. Of course, you take the opening of the falling wedge, you move it over, and you see our spot right here, 105. Coincidentally, it's right there in line with a former support level that Bitcoin could use as resistance. So this is going to be an interesting spot to watch, 105. Does Bitcoin end up having a small correction? I'm not predicting a correction there and then, brand new lows for, the last couple of weeks. But I do believe potentially you could see Bitcoin on these larger time frames maybe have a cool off around 105 before continuing the rally up and to the right. But another reason why we're really bullish here on Bitcoin, I'm going to kind of be brief here and doing the Bitcoin technical analysis, save some time for altcoins and Q&A later in the show. But we've been tracking a lot of buy signals coming in here. Of course, on the daily chart, we had a buy signal back here on January 1st. I think I said that a little speedy and a little messy. Green reversal here on the Luxago oscillator, green momentum and positive money flow, the trifecta of what you're seeing for buy signals. This is awesome. We're seeing MACD cross, the RSI is bullish again. The issue, though, is that this breakout pattern technically only takes us to about 1028. So we need to see larger time frames and larger buy signals come in to feel a lot more confident about this move. And that is exactly what we are beginning to see across pretty much the entire crypto space. But starting off with Bitcoin, the 2-daily chart, after having a sell signal that pulled back down to the smart trail, I'm not going to say we pinpointed the bottom perfectly. We thought 90K was definitely on the table. We didn't quite get there, but we did pull back technically into our 2-daily smart trail. Well, guess what? Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are days away from a bullish MACD cross for the first time since way back here in September of 2024. Our RSI made a nice little bounce off of that 50 level, a very, very bullish sign for Bitcoin. But now we get into the Lux algo indicator oscillator. We don't have a green reversal, okay? But we still have a reversal indicator that counts for our trade setup. You might be saying, Tim, what do you mean by that? Well, let's go back to the last dip back here, the last dip right here on October 11th, 2024. All right, if you look at this, we have just come in, and when we got our sell signals on the 2-daily chart, we've sufficed that pullback, and now we've set a lower low in our oscillator an oscillator matrix here. When I come back out to price, though, remember those dates, October to here, December 30th, the bottom position. If you go back to the same dates, we definitely have a higher low way back here, a higher low in price action. What does this communicate? This, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know about technical analysis, you never studied it, is what we call bullish divergence. It's a reversal indicator. So despite the fact that normally on this indicator, I like to see a reversal dot here down below or a green triangle, bullish divergence counts as a reversal signal. Well, now I'm matching that with a green reversal dot or green momentum dot on the actual hyperwave or oscillator. And take a look right here. Very much it looks like to me that we are seeing a curvature here on money flow. I want to see this confirm over the next couple of days, but we are seeing the positive money flow, the positive reversal, the positive momentum. If this ends up sticking, if this is the official buy signal that I think that it can be, forget about that daily chart smart trail. All of a sudden, with us being above the 2-daily, the target we would be looking for on the low end is a revisit back to highs up here at 108, but potentially a high push even above the top of this red line at 127. For example, let's go back and look at what this looked like in the last altcoin season, but how Bitcoin kind of kind of reacted here. Again, we compared this most recent pullback very strongly to what happened back in January of 2021. Well, guess what? After Bitcoin had its pullback, its healthy correction back down to the 2-daily smart trail, it would explode not only up to this red line, but actually go back above it before having a correction just a couple of weeks later. But a massive rally could be on the table. This one was a Bitcoin rally over, again, I think this, correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is about a 1 month period, so 4 weeks, 100% move in 4 week period. I don't know if 100% is on the table in 4 weeks, but 20, even if we just did 25 to 50 from where we were just at the bottom, that, ladies and gentlemen, will put us up here closer towards 150. 25 is going to put us somewhere in the world up here around, or 25 is going to put us up here on 13. If we did 50%, just half of the historical movement, we're talking about a move up to $140,000 per Bitcoin. But that's the part of the cycle that we are in right now. If you guys have been watching our show for a while now, not just the last couple of weeks, but if you've been watching for the last couple of months, we have been very honest with people about when it's time to be really bullish and when it's time to look for corrections. And I'm not going to claim that every single call we've made has been perfect, but if you've been tracking us, we have been pretty on par with when Bitcoin needs to correct and when it's time to release. And a lot of that has to do with this concept of saying that we're repeating a lot of things that we did back 4 years ago and 8 years ago in the 4-year cycle. And if that's true, if this continues to be true, we are looking at a massive rally on Bitcoin over the next month. I believe 150 to 180 is possible by March or April of this year. That could be the next major correction where Bitcoin corrects another 15, 20, who knows, maybe 30%. But again, one of our theories that we have been very deadly at calling these swing moves with, the 4-year cycle, if it plays out once again, we are in touch not only for Bitcoin to go up crazily, but also altcoins. We'll talk more about them here in just a second. But first, I want to throw it over to Tshroom because there's other charts, there's other things we're watching right now that should make you very bullish on Bitcoin and the altcoin space, and that is the bond market. Tshroom, what is going on right now with U.S. bonds?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's go jump over to my screen. I'll show you all here that the bond market, as we've been looking at it now live, this candlestick has come down and turned back red. But earlier today, the bonds, the 10-year hit 4.64, which is a local high. Okay, so that is indicating just further disinterest in 10-year treasuries and in fixed income. What does this mean? It means that the market is pricing in growth. They're risk on. They want to go buy risk. And then if you take a look at the Dixie, the dollar is also having a pullback here. Now, what you'll notice is that there has not been very many candlesticks that have printed below the midline of the Bollinger Band, that 20-day moving average. You saw some here. You saw some up here. We could potentially see this is the slowdown. This is the pullback that the Dixie will actually go ahead and print and then fail to get back up above that 20-day moving average for the Dixie, which could potentially lead to quite a bit of a drawdown here for the Dixie from live price all the way down, 8.3% to the downside. That would spell quite a bit of upside for Bitcoin as it and altcoins have also climbed with the Dixie. But make no mistake, remember that the Dixie usually runs in reverse correlation to not just risk, but also to crypto and to Bitcoin. And then the last thing I wanted to show you here, so we take a look at the 10-year, we've taken a look at the Dixie, the dollar strength index. Now take a look at gold here, also showing, where is the money flowing? Because it's flowing out of bonds and it's not flowing into the dollar today, at least. Because that dollar is kind of topping out. Well, it's not flowing into gold either. As you can see, this rally has started to kind of erode, and gold is clinging on. You can kind of see it like clinging on to the side of this uptrending line of what was pretty strong support, dating all the way back to June 2024. But it looks like gold has already spent some time below that, probably around 10 candlesticks, 10 days, and it's only a matter of time before it just go ahead and makes a run maybe all the way back down to 2,500 for gold. So we'll see. But that's just a quick analysis of the rest of the market, what's going on. And it's telling me that, if we're seeing Bitcoin pump, that money's coming from somewhere, and it looks like it's coming from bonds. It's coming from gold. Doesn't look like it's coming from equities because we do have the SPY and NASDAQ ripping, NVIDIA hitting at least local highs, if not all-time highs. So that's kind of a little bit, all-time highs for NVIDIA. So that's a little bit of a look there at what's going on in the rest of the market.
Yeah, and I think we're going to get into this a little bit later, but I want to get into altcoin season discussion right now. Another big thing happening in the news is, in case you have not heard, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has officially resigned. I don't know if he's officially stepped down. He might have a couple of days left in office or something, but he is stepping down. He is giving up his spot as the Prime Minister of Canada, and there's something there. The next person in line is very, very bullish for the crypto space. We'll talk more about that here in just a little bit. Let's transition, though, because I see a lot of people asking in chat about different coins I want to take a look at. And we'll have time for Q&A today. We'll definitely be able to look at a couple of the coins you guys want to see. So throughout the show, be dropping what coins you want to see some technical analysis on. But I want to start off, let's talk a little altcoin season overall details. And then there's 3 big coins that are key players in altcoin season getting going and picking up steam that are showing me some amazing things on the charts right now. Let's start off with the Bitcoin Dominance Chart, though, which is one of the biggest indicators of an altcoin season. It's mixed results, right? This is one that has been all over the place. And I'm going to kind of give you my thoughts here, and we'll move into the technical analysis for altcoins. But only a couple of weeks ago, right, back at the end of November, we topped out above 61%, a prediction we made 2 years ago that to this point looks like it was right, that we would have a 60%, that would be around 60% would be the peak of the Bitcoin season, and then altcoin season would start after. And traditionally, altcoin seasons start with a massive fall in the Bitcoin Dominance Chart. Not only a massive fall, but one that also breaks a long-term support level. Well, that's exactly what we just saw happen early in December. But recent pumps here have kind of changed some details, right? So we Bitcoin Dominance made its way back up, rejected just below 60%, causing some to believe that alt season is not here. But over the last week, we have been falling. What's my overall point here? What am I trying to get at? This is a very confusing chart. This is very different than what we've seen, 4 years ago, 8 years ago. Of course, 4 years ago, January was the altcoin season. You can see Bitcoin Dominance fell off a cliff after getting up above 73%. If you go back 8 years ago, back to early 2017, this also was a major level of where Bitcoin Dominance was up around 96%, just fell off a cliff over the next couple of months. This doesn't mean this whole time that Bitcoin Dominance was falling here in 2017 or here in 2021. It doesn't mean that was Bitcoin's price just plummeting. It just meant it was a period of time where Bitcoin, after years of moving to the upside and being the more valuable asset to hold than overall altcoins, it was a period of time, roughly a year and some change, where altcoins would be the better investment. And that's why we call it the altcoin season. Altcoins rally long before altcoin season. They can rally after altcoin season. But altcoin season is really when you see Bitcoin's dominance start to fall off a cliff. But why do I believe that it's still altcoin season, and yet we're not doing it as explosively as we have in the past? I mean, clearly, while we had an initial big drop-off in November, we've been a little, up and down since then. Well, one thing I want to make sure you guys are viewing is back in 2017, we would plummet from 96% within a year and some change into 2018, I think actually less than a year. We would plummet all the way down here to 36%. Okay. Crypto was young. I mean, we're talking about at this stage, most people still made fun of crypto holders. Crypto was not mainstream whatsoever. When you move forward into 2021, a lot more retail investment was here. But you also had a combination of retail loving making more money with more valuable altcoins that could, have bigger X's. But you also had a lot of FUD. A lot of people were trying to FUD. A lot of institutions were FUDding Bitcoin. We would plummet from 73% all the way down to about 39%. So slightly a higher low in dominance, but still a pretty long fall. Well, one of the things that I've mentioned here, while I did believe the top would be around 60% around Bitcoin dominance for this cycle, I project and I expect that the low for Bitcoin dominance in this next one is only going to be somewhere between 50 to 45%, a much higher low for this whole thing. And my reason for that is because whereas in past cycles, there was brand new altcoins that were top 10 coins that people thought they could make a lot of money in. And last cycle, you had massive FUD stories being preached about Bitcoin. And I believe an overall manipulation of the crypto space in general. This is the cycle that institutions are joining us. And I believe that we're going to have a much more mature market that look at the ETFs, look at where banks are going. I think that there's going to be a very heavy holding up top with Bitcoin being the number one holding. My expectations, 50 to 45%. I don't think this is another cycle where we drop down to 40, 45 to 50, and I would not be surprised for 50 to actually be the bottom. Well, what's that mean? It means we don't have very far to go, and we have technically almost a full year for alts historically to outpace Bitcoin. This could be a very slow draw. If you go back to my chart, it could take us a lot of time here where Bitcoin Dominance Chart just slowly meoses its way down here and spends all of 2025 on the verge before maybe just December, January area, we hit that 50 and we begin to resurge back to the upside. But I wanted to kind of preface that by saying, is this altcoin season different? Is this Bitcoin Dominance Chart different? Absolutely is different. But there's rational, reasonable understanding as to why it's not plummeting like it has in years past, and still gives us the expectation that 61% more than likely was the high for Bitcoin dominance. And over the next year, altcoins would be the better hold for your investments. That being said, I encourage everybody, have your long-term Bitcoin holdings. And when I say long-term, I'm not talking about a year or 5 years. I'm talking about 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Have Bitcoin you're going to pass down to your children and your grandchildren, because that's the only crypto right now that I'm looking at that I feel secure about still being here over the next 20 years. But there's a lot of money to make in the next 365 days in the altcoin space, way more so than Bitcoin. So I wanted to start off with that. And that's backing up my statement. Altcoin season is here. Altcoins are going berserk. I did the Bitcoin technical analysis for you. Let's get into some of the top altcoins that will have major impact on that Bitcoin dominance chart. We'll get it to go to the downside. Let's start off here with Ethereum. Now, we've been tracking this for a little while. Macro TA here, guys. I think Ethereum is on the precipice of a massive move. Why? Well, we have a very bullish formation in play here. This right here, a left shoulder formed back in April of 2024. A deeper dip here in the summer. We formed a head. And this most recent dip, even though it didn't go as low as the left shoulder, has made a look something along the lines of a right shoulder. And if this tends to be true, if this ends up being true, is the best way to say that, this would be a big breakout over the next year for Ethereum to make its way. Sorry, not next year, next couple of months, maybe summertime. $7,400 Ethereum, right? So that's the macro perspective here for Ethereum that we're watching on the charts. But not only that, let's go in here and look at these buy signals, these things that we've been tracking with Bitcoin and several other coins. There are a few coins right now that I think are more bullish than Ethereum charting wise. What am I talking about here? Well, again, while we briefly dropped below the 50 on the RSI, we are making a resounding push back to the upside over here on the RSI daily chart. The MACD just crossed bullish here again on the 2nd for the first time since way back here in November. Guess what happened back in November? Oh yeah, that's when everything pumped dramatically. I think Ethereum is close to doing it again. But also we got a nice little buy signal and bullish divergence down here on the daily chart. We have our nice buy signal with the green reversals, bullish momentum, positive money flow. That money flow is flowing to the upside. This is an amazing buy signal for Ethereum. But the next one, just like Bitcoin, we're keeping an eye on a recent buy signal here on the 2 daily chart, just like Bitcoin. While we didn't get a green reversal dot or a triangle, we did get a lower low in the oscillator action since that November 4th dip back here. Well, guess what? Look at the price action. During that same time frame, we set a higher low on our price action. This is amazing bullish divergence. That's the reversal indicator. Over here, we clearly have bullish momentum on our money flow, and we clearly have bullish momentum on our oscillator as well. This is a very powerful buy signal here for Ethereum holders on the 2 daily chart. And with us being above that smart trail, once again, the minimum target we are looking for, if you trade with this strategy, which has an over 90% win rate, doesn't mean it's perfect, but 90% of the time or more, this trade signal works. You're looking at the minimum, a move back up to 4,200, high end back to 5,000. But I always love to look at history as well. What happened this time 4 years ago when you're looking at these cards? And the last time during this season, we got a buy signal on the 2 daily chart. To look back there, we have to go all the way back here, quite a while. We have to go all the way back to March of 2021. That was the time period we started to get this. Oh, no, sorry. Excuse me. That was not the right time at all. Right in here, right in here, December 2020. There we go. What would it do with that red level? We would explode way above it. Way above it. Not that I think Ethereum's going to repeat this exactly point for point, but Ethereum from December or January into the peak. Let's go May. Let's actually back this off. Let's go just what we would see if we go to the February highs right here. A 200% rally in a couple of weeks. If you go all the way into May, you're looking at a 400, almost 500% rally. So let's just cut that in half. Let's say we see in the next couple of weeks, 100% move to the upside. And in the next couple of months, we'll even cut it down to 200%, right? We're going to be a little more conservative here with what Ethereum is able to do based off of these historical movements and timeframes. 100% move to the upside. We talked about this before. This is going to put us somewhere in the world right up at $7,400. We talked about that price level earlier based off the inverse head and shoulders pattern. What about a 200% move, though, for Ethereum? Maybe sometime in the summer. That would put the price of Ethereum higher than I've said in previous content. That would put it up out of $11,000. Previously, I've said that by summertime, Ethereum could be flirting with the $10,000 level. Am I saying that 200% is definite? I'm not saying it's definite. That's a very high level for Ethereum to get to. There's definitely factors at play that we didn't have 4 years ago. But I wanted to show you just how explosive Ethereum can get during this part of the cycle. All this to say, bare minimum, 4,200 probably coming based off of recent 2 daily buy signals. History, though, repeats and says 72 to 11,000. 7,200 to 11,000 for Ethereum holders could be weeks, a couple of months away. What about Solana? Now, Solana was passed by XRP in the last couple of months. It is no longer the third richest altcoin, but it's number 4, right? It's number 4 up there. Not on coin market cap because Tether is still really high, but listen, when we're just talking about altcoins, because we're talking about altcoin season, we are looking right now at Solana. I'm going to spare you the daily chart buy signal. Almost everything in crypto got a daily chart buy signal, but we are seeing the buy signal starting to flood in on Solana here on the 2 daily chart. What you're seeing, bullish MACD cross, again, for the first time since way back here in October. Over here, we have the RSI going to the upside, and then Luxago oscillator, green reversal, bullish momentum, positive money flow. Well, we do have a red reversal in play. The oscillator is not overextended. The money flow is not negative. I would not be concerned with that signal. That's a false signal at the moment. You always like to see confluence of these signals. Now, in Solana's case, we do have a resistance level right above us around 242 that could be very interesting. However, Solana, there's going to be larger time frames that start to swing in and talk about how bullish Solana should be. In fact, I think we've recently looked at them. This was one of the few charts, one of the few large cap coins that actually touched not just the 2 daily smart trail, not to the 3 daily smart trail, but the weekly smart trail. A pullback to the weekly smart trail. That's a massive, massive bullish push here for Solana. It also came back to a former level of resistance, retapped it. My expectations for Solana over the next couple of weeks, next couple of months, don't be surprised if by February we're sitting north of $300. But by the summertime, I would be very surprised if it's not at least over $400, if not $500 Solana. This is one I'm very bullish on. And again, we're seeing buy signals on this large cap coin that we're not seeing across several other places. But keep your eyes on Solana. Love see what I'm seeing over there. Last one I want to point out. And I'm not going to say that these are the only altcoins pumping, by the way, guys. Like every time I do stuff like this, people like get in the comment section like, oh, so you don't believe in this coin anymore, or you don't believe in my other favorite coin anymore? Guys, if I was going to talk about every single coin I'm bullish on every single day, we would produce 8-hour-long shows every single day just to name the coins that I think are about to go to the upside. What I'm showing you are levels and charts that I find very interesting that are giving us these buy signals that kind of confirm that if the 4-year cycle is intact, this is altcoin season, we're getting confirmation from some of the largest cryptos out there that this is about to get very bullish. This one, it is one of my favorites. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to hide it. It is Chainlink. Chainlink is another one of these coins. It came down on the 2 daily chart. it bounced off of that smart trail after getting a nice sell signal. But here now on the 2 daily chart, we are getting that buy signal. The RSI made a nice little bounce here off the 50. You'll love to see that. The MACD is not crossed bullish just yet, but it's well on its way with these histograms turning pink instead of dark red. And then, of course, you get to the Lux Algo Oscillator. Again, this is my favorite buy signal I will see on any chart, not just crypto, but any asset out there. This is my favorite buy signal I've ever seen. Green reversal, bullish momentum. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen, positive money flow. What does this mean in the short term here for Chainlink? Well, we are above, like I said, the smart trail. So you're not trading up to a red smart trail. You would trade up here to the red cloud, up to 28 to potentially north of $34. As we've said in the past, though, that is simply what the chart is saying on short time frames. Like, that's something we can legitimately see happen in the next week and a half or less. But let's go back to, again, 4 years ago. How did it respond the last time we got a buy signal during altcoin season? We look at the charts here real quick. We're going to have to go back here again to early January of 2021. We would watch the buy signal on the 2 daily chart after bouncing on the 2 daily smart trail. We would see, just like the others, a climb not only to the red reversal band, but a climb well above it. Several touches back to that 2 daily smart trail as we were making our way up. But let's just do some simple math right here on Chainlink. Let's pretend history repeats itself. In only a couple of weeks, Chainlink rallied 254%. And over the next couple of months, again, before summer, 400%. So we'll go ahead and do the same thing. We're talking about 100 and 200% moves if Chainlink repeats history within the 4-year cycle. By February, we could expect 100% rally on Chainlink. Again, conservative estimates. We're talking about moves up here towards $40 and a 200% move, being conservative, $60 before summer. I'll be very honest with you. I don't even think that's bullish enough. I actually think this is one of the candidates that could repeat history of what happened 4 years ago. I think by summertime, a 400% move to the upside being well over 100 is not out of the cards for Chainlink. I think over summer, it keeps on rallying. This is one of my coins that I think is going to be, I'm not going to call it sleeper because that would imply that people are not aware of Chainlink. I think as a sleeper in the fact that people are bullish on Chainlink, but they're nowhere near as bullish as they should be. They try to bring in, and I understand why. I'm a technical analyst myself. They try to bring in just simple charts. They try to bring in simple ratios of what this coin can do. I believe it's currently ranked number 13 or number 14. This is a coin, though, that I think could rival to be in the top 5. There are few coins out there. I'm not saying it's the only one. I'm not saying it's going to be the best, but there's few coins out there that I think will make bigger leaps and be more important players going forward in the world of blockchain technology than Chainlink. It's going to have its hands in almost every single financial transaction moving forward. It's creating partnerships with literally every single other cryptocurrency out there, along with all the massive players like BlackRock, like Swift, several others. I, again, could name just a whole pantry list of companies that are massively bullish on Chainlink. These charts, I'm giving them to you. I'm showing you the conservative estimates. This is one I have a feeling I'm going to be wrong, and I'm going to be wrong to the downside. It's going to be a lot higher than history even suggests. Chainlink is one of my favorites. Like I said, these are not the only coins that I'm bullish on. I'm bullish on the Cardanos. I'm bullish on XRP. I'm bullish on DOT and ICP and SUI and AVAX and all. Again, I'd have to be here a while to list all of them. But I wanted to show you 3 of the biggest players with massive buy signals. It's going to reap rewards for the rest of the altcoin space. It's going to be a big reason why altcoins and the Bitcoin Dominance Chart is going to fall, and altcoins are going to go berserk. These are some of the biggest players in that. Hopefully, you guys saw that, you listened to it, and you are as bullish as I am. But with that said, 333. Let's take a break. Let's answer like 2 or 3 questions, Tshroom. And then I do know we have a lot of news, a good amount of news we need to get into because it's not just the charts that are important today. We're going to do a lot more charts going forward. We're going to do a lot of Q&A. You're going to see a lot of shows be 90% on the charts. That's what you guys have been asking for in chat and in the comments. But when there's important news, we will spend some time going through it and explaining to you what it means for your portfolios. But first, let's look at the chat, see what is going on here. Anything you saw that was interesting in chat, Tshroom?
Let's see. Real Chris B said gold is much bigger deal to get in and out of. What level should I focus on the most? Talking about gold, US, AUG, I believe is the ticker there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, XAU is the one I've been looking at. If you want to go to my screen, Smay, I mean, I just wouldn't. I'm not that bullish on it right here. Let's take a look at the oscillators. I mean, it's kind of been floundering in the middle here since like mid-November. The money flow has been positive, I will say, and it's even getting some excessive buying on the daily chart here.
Yeah,
but it's really the price structure that's nothing to write home about. It's pretty bearish. It hasn't been able to stay. Now you could redraw this line potentially and say it's coming off that bottom wick, but even there, even if I'm being generous, it's still been missing that bottom support. So, this one could surprise you and just keep going sideways or make a move back higher. But either way, if you're interested in chatting more about gold, I'm going to be going live with a question and answer session hour long into the 5 o'clock hour Eastern Standard Time. If you want to join me for that, you can just actually jump down to the link here in the description of the video you're watching. Just go right here and just sign up for one of the memberships, and you'll be able to get access to the Q&A that'll be going up today here in just a few minutes, actually, right at 4 o'clock, the end of this show.
Yeah, so real quick, the last question I'm going to do here, and I have never done it. Someone asked in chat, what is a reasonable price prediction for Aerodrome, right? I've never sat down and done that math, but I'll do what I would call rough price predictions for you right now. So go to my screen here, Smay. Aerodrome is at 103, and I'm going to be fully transparent here. I do not hold Aerodrome. I don't have anything against Aerodrome. In fact, I'm bullish on Aerodrome. I don't plan on buying it this cycle. I'm kind of tapped on the coins that I want. Unless something crazy dramatic happens, they're the ones I'm going to stick with. But currently, it's got a market cap of 1.09 billion. Okay, it's a fringe top 100 coin. It's technically right outside right now, but this is a coin that absolutely could be back in the top 100. Let's pretend here. Like, let's just pretend. I'm not saying this is definitely going to happen, but I think it could be back in the top 100 by the end of this bull market. I think reasonably, this coin from a market cap perspective could be somewhere between $15 to $20 billion by the time it's all said and done, right? That's bullish. That's pretty good. Let's just pretend 20 though. Let's pretend it's $20 billion. That's the market cap. We're going to be generous here. Well, if we had a $20 billion market cap for Aerodrome, what would that look like for the price action as a whole? The total supply right now sitting at 1.44 billion, but the circulating supply is at 734.8 million. That means that while there technically is a higher supply, there's probably lockups that happen here. Again, I'm not necessarily updated on all the details of how the tokenomics work on Aerodrome. Let's pretend, for kicks and giggles, again, I could be completely off here. Let's pretend that it gets up to about 1 billion. Okay, that's going to actually make things very simple, obviously, for math. But I could see as more tokens are minted and created and come back into circulation, we could see the circulating supply be close to 1 billion tokens. Some will be minted and add to that total, but others will be kept off. They'll be locked up. People will be using it to gain rewards. So I'm going to kind of be conservative here and say 1 billion. Well, it's simple math. If we have a $20 billion market cap and a 1 billion supply, we're going to have each coin be $20. Well, what does that mean? $1.50 to $2. I'm terrible. I'm terrible with math, right? So you guys are going to laugh at me, but I absolutely have to say, okay, if we went to $20 at $149 currently, what is a $20 price prediction for Aerodrome? It would be an increase of roughly 1,200%, 1,261. So that's a 13.5x. Not a bad investment. Again, all that was off the top of my head. I haven't done enough research to tell you exactly how the tokenomics work. Again, I kind of stabbed at it with the market cap. Tell me in chat, do you think 20 billion is a reasonable market cap for Aerodrome? Is that too bearish? Is that too bullish? Go do your own math. Where will the tokenomics be? Where do you think the market cap will be? You'll get your price prediction in that simple evaluation. But I wanted to show you a quick example of how I would do those price predictions to give you a number to keep an eye on. $20 for Aerodrome, I think, seems interesting. That being said, yeah, I see people saying Sahil Kakar says too bullish. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Let me know. Sahil, what's your price prediction for Aerodrome? Tshroom, let's get into some news here. Starting off with our neighbors north of the border with some fantastic news, in my personal opinion. Maybe some of you in chat will disagree. But we're getting a changing of the guard right in line with America. Trudeau stepping down. Tshroom, why is this story so massively bullish for crypto holders who maybe don't care about who leads the nation of Canada?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if you take a look here at my chart, you might be saying, wait, chart on a news story? Yeah, this is the Canadian dollar here. It's put in a 1.2% day so far from the trough, the wick here. Now, this is Forex. You got to remember, that's a pretty big move for Forex. It's getting back up above that 20-day moving average. And if you zoom out to the weekly here, you didn't ask for the Canadian to US dollar technical analysis, but you're getting it.
But you're going to get it, yeah.
You can see that since 2021, this thing has basically looked like a stinky altcoin that has not recovered from the bear market, down 16.9% to the dollar. But let's get into the news here because it is pretty interesting. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau officially resigns from office. Wait, that's not Justin Trudeau. No, it's not. That is Pierre Poilievre, and he is the pro-Bitcoin candidate who is projected to replace him. So what is next? If you want to read more about Pierre specifically, you can go down here and read the rest of our thread. Where can you find this? Over on the Investing Bros Twitter account. So that's pretty good. Now, I had a poll up. It was predicting about 92% that Pierre was going to be the winner. He won't be taking office immediately. They're going to have to hold an election, and then he'll more than likely be the prime minister. But from all indications, it looks like he's going to go ahead and be the next leader for Canada.
Well,
so,
and
very bullish.
I'm sure, being in the United States, we have a different political setup than other countries. But if for some reason you're in a country and you don't know how parliaments work, I'm gonna get something wrong here. But ultimately, people are not going to be electing him; they're going to be electing a party. And he is the leader of the Conservative Party. Of course, I don't even know how many years Trudeau has been the leader. I don't know the number off the top of my head, but he's been the leader for a while. And he's run the economy into the ground. So what traditionally happens is you get a complete switch. If that party has been sucking, you go automatically to the other party, right? And so since he's the leader, while they haven't held the election quite yet, there's very little logic that would say he's not the next leader. Because they're going to vote the Conservative Party in. He's the leader of the Conservative Party. He automatically becomes prime minister. If in chat, if for some reason I got something wrong there, correct me. But that is how I learned it in high school, how parliament electoral processes go. But anyway, let's keep moving on, though. Great news. Make Canada great again. Why don't you up there? What else do we have in the news? Is there any other stories? I know Injective.
Yeah.
Injective was a coin. Let's set this stage here. Injective has some news we got to talk about. Injective is one of our coins. People have been asking about in chat. I saw people in our private membership groups asking about it. If you guys go back to one of the last videos of December, I made a video on 5 coins. They're not the only 5 coins. Again, I'm bullish on a lot here. But 5 coins that I thought could explode in January because of how oversold they were. Injective was absolutely one of them. If you had watched the video, you might have gotten a better price action on Injective. But guess what? There's a lot of room to the upside still. What's going on with Injective right now, Tshroom?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we have one governance outcome up in Canada. You get another one here in Injective on the blockchain. The results are in. The Injective community showed overwhelming support with 99.99 voting yes. Had some trolls voting no, evidently there, underscoring the strong belief in the Injective 3.0 deflationary path. Of course, deflationary, if you're newer to crypto, newer to investing, this means price go up, in theory, deflationary. So that's good for Injective holders. Injective's deflationary strategy 3.0 is set to significantly reduce its supply through advanced token burns. The upgrade focuses on improving staking incentives and potentially increasing the value of INJ. So it's seen as a broader trend in the crypto space towards deflationary token models. Of course, Ethereum being one of the ones to kind of carve that out. Obviously, you could say Bitcoin carves that out even earlier, but Injective kind of following in those footsteps. And Tim, I will say, other than your price prediction and like a couple of tweets here and there, I haven't heard much about this layer 1 Injective, but it's kind of on an island all to its own in some sense. You don't hear about it doing too many partnerships or collaborations or things like that. But it's still there. It's still fast. It's still scalable. And it looks like they're getting a lot of participation in their governance. And, this worked out really, really well for, I believe it was Uniswap last year, had a huge pop when no other coins were popping. because of a governance outcome. So it is getting a nice bid today, and that momentum may not be over.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We don't get to talk about it a lot, and one of the reasons why is because, again, if I were to talk about every cryptocurrency that I think could have a good bull run, we would never be able to talk about the same coin twice, right? It's just every single day it's a brand new altcoin that we have to talk about. That takes a lot of research. It doesn't really help people who want to kind of focus on their portfolios and have them increase. But just so you know, Injective, coin we don't talk about a lot, it's one of the coins in my portfolio because I've been bullish on this coin for a while. This is some great news. Currently, this coin's ranked number 56, so it's not even a top 50 coin, but I think it has the potential, keyword potential here, right? I could be wrong. I think it has the potential to be a top 30 to top 20 coin. Probably closer towards top 30 than top 20, but still, current market cap, $2.57 billion. If it makes it in the top 30, we're talking about a $35-40 billion market cap minimum, possibly pushing up towards 50 billion or higher. That would be absolutely massive. But let's take a look at the charts really quickly, and then we're going to get into some Q&A. I saw that super chat about SEI coin. I see a lot of chat going on. People are asking for a lot of coins. We will have some time to do a couple, not a lot, but a couple of your coins and do some technical analysis. Let's start off here with Injective. Support level, since the big pullback back in August, we have been setting higher lows and higher highs ever since then. You love to see it. Big bullish coin here. One of the reasons I'm so bullish on it, though, when I made the video here just not that long ago, I talked about how this coin dropped 74% between the highs we had back in March to the lows we had back here in August. But at the time of even making the video, when I made it back here and I told people, look for a pullback to this trend line, we were still down over 60%, right? So this is a coin that just didn't have a lot more room to the downside. You can't kill what's already perceived as dead. But sometimes when a coin is perceived as dead, no one's talking about it, but it still has very strong fundamentals, still has a very bright future. Those can be the best investments, the best times to go get it. You buy when there's blood in the streets, not when everyone's discussing it. Well, guess what? We made a video on it when there's blood in the streets. Now people are talking about it, and the price is significantly up since then. That being said, what are we seeing here? Let's look at the daily chart. Again, we have those buy signals. We have a lot of the great stuff. The RSI is back up over the 50. Woohoo! We got the bullish MACD cross here again for the first time since back in November. That's awesome. Even though we're lower lows, even with higher lows on the price action, great bullish divergence. And we have the bullish buy signal here on Luxago. Green reversals, bullish momentum, positive money flow. The only thing about that one is technically it only would have sent us up to where we currently are right now, right? The peak of the daily bullishness stops right here at 26, unless we break through and all of a sudden this becomes doable. But that's what takes us up to the 2-daily chart. 2-daily chart, we're getting those buy signals, bullish MACD cross. I'm going to focus on the big things. Green reversal, bullish momentum, positive money flow, 2-daily chart. That gives us a signal a lot higher up here, up towards $32 on the table. Out of curiosity, I did not do this TA right before. Are we bullish on the 3-daily? Well, we don't technically have a buy signal. You can make a very good argument because that is clearly a lower low. And I know price action is a higher low. That's bullish divergence. That's bullish momentum. The money flow is deciding if it wants to stay bullish or go to the upside. That all of a sudden starts to take us up for price range up here at $33.70. But look for a lot of this stuff that I'm doing. A lot of this analysis, this tool in particular is really good for traders, right? So if you want to trade these markets, first of all, come trade in our community, become a VIP trader. We will help you make a lot of money in the trading process. During this part of the season, I can't show you the history of Injective's last bull market. Why? Because Injective didn't have a bull market last time. It pretty much was made at the tail end of the bear market. But if we know from other coins with legitimate fundamentals, the way Injective has it, things can get very fun, very fast. A lot of money can be made. I would encourage you guys, this is one, if you like it, if you're looking for a coin to add to your portfolio and Injective fits the bill, do your own research still. But go ahead and just buy some and let it ride and let the gains pour in. I can't even really do good technicals right here on this one once we get into price discovery mode. The best I can do is this. Let's take a look at a very classic signal that a lot of other technical analysts will be watching. Whenever you're looking at brand new highs and you want to put a target, one of the best things you can do is just pull up simple Fibonacci, go back to the previous significant peak followed by the local bottom. Of course, the peak back here in March, the bottom here in August. I'm not saying this is going to be the top of the bull market. I am saying this is one of the levels that could have significant selling off that you could hold from now here on $26 all the way up here. $127. This is the golden pocket of Fibonacci extension. Again, I think we could go higher than this, but my overall point is that is a simple and easy explanation for where a top could be. If you bought right now, right, you could easily make a nice 380% if this ends up becoming true. If you sign up with Blofin and start trading with our link today, throw a 2, 3, 4x on that very easily. We're talking about a whole lot of moolah. Go sign up with Blofin, by the way. I forgot to shout them out at the beginning of the show. They are our sponsor of today's show. This is an exchange where you could be buying and selling crypto. And if you want to get into trading, I encourage you to join our group. We use Blofin and CoinW to do that. Blofin is our more traditional one. But signing up today, you can enter to start trading in a challenge to earn up to $200,000 in the month of January. Make sure to click on our link, sign up, register for this event. You have 14 days left to register. And then you have all the rest of January to compete to win up to $200,000. Go check out Blofin. Start trading with the bros today. That's going to wrap up my injective technical analysis, though, for the moment. Let's go in here and we have 350. Let's do 2 more questions. And then we have our factoid of the day. Again, super chat. I saw the super chat from Jack Rice saying, say TA, please. Say TA, please. Let's do say TA. It's been a long time since I did say TA. I love saying it. I love rhymes. It's always fun stuff. Very similar looking chart to what we just did with Injective, right? March tops, August bottoms. This coin fell, let's look at this, 82%. Why is this coin not the one on my radar the other day? I mean, I couldn't check everything. It's down. Yes, it was down 65% or so when I made the video. So say could have easily been one of the coins in my video put out at the end of December. Just like Injective, higher highs and higher lows since this time frame. A nice trending support level right in here that we recently bounced off of once again. Let's take a look here at what's been going on, starting with the daily chart. I'd like to check what's happening here. Let's start off with our oscillators. Yep, there's our buy signal right in here. MACD, RSI, everything's looking good. We're not even up to the daily charts. Take profit levels up around 52 cents. So that's a positive sign. Do we have the same positivity on the 2 daily chart? We do. Universal, bullish momentum, positive money flow. What's that saying? Oh, that's saying a lot higher. That's saying up here at 69, 70 cents is a target to keep an eye on. That's what you love to see. 3 daily chart, same as Injective. Not quite bullish. That money flow is still negative. But with green reversal and bullish momentum and the MACD looking like it wants to curve back to the upside, give this a week, 2 weeks maybe. And I think you get a 3 daily buy signal as well, in which case you're still talking about over 70 cents, but that's climbing. So it could be a lot higher. But let's use the same logic. Again, this coin wasn't around last bull market. Let's do a very simplistic price prediction using Fibonacci extension. Again, not that I'm saying this will be the top. I'm just saying this is one that a lot of traders do use for their targets to take profit. Golden pocket extension, $3.44. So nice little 623% rally from here. Wow. Again, do I want to hold say in my portfolio? Maybe not, but that might be an interesting long-term trade. Throw a 3 or 4x on there. Let that sucker ride. That could be very interesting. Thank you for the super chat there, Jack, I believe was his name. One more coin, and then we'll do our factoid of the day and probably call it a day. By the way, smash the like button. We had over 1,000 people concurrent here on YouTube. Love having everybody here. Only 300 likes, though. So I don't know why we weren't at 500. We should get to 500 likes by the time it's all said and done. Lewis B said, hey, Tim, long time. I don't see your Caspa TA. Well, I've done Caspa here recently, but let's do it. By the way, if you guys, I'm not saying this just to say, oh, everyone start giving super chats. If you have money and you want to support the bros, here's what I heavily suggest. We always love super chats. Those are awesome. Go into the link in the description and purchase one of our memberships. Support the channel and learn a part of it. Be a part of our community, right? I heavily encourage you, especially if you want to learn technical analysis, if you want to be a part of a trading group. That is the purpose of our membership options. And I can just about promise you, I guess I haven't checked every single one out there, you're not going to find a community that's as helpful and encouraging and uplifting as ours, and also isn't charging you $1,000 a month or more, right? We purposely made these memberships to help grow our business, to provide for our families, but also we want to see you use the majority of your money to make millions in investing, and you only have to spend a small amount of it to actually be a part of the community and learn. I heavily suggest, I know it's $100 a month right there, but the Ultimates package is good, or guess what? here's the really cool thing. Go back to that. Show that graphic again. Oh, it's a whole video, so it's going to take me a second. The middle option, the Pro Bros. We get this question all the time, and we're about to do KAS TA here in a second. But that Pro Bros, it gets you into our VIP trading group. But if you purchase the Pro Bros and you buy the Lux Algo indicators, yes, we're talking about traders, all these indicators that I'm using every single day to show you the massive movements and when we're bullish and when we're bearish. That is a Lux Algo indicator package, the #1 trading indicator package on TradingView. When you pair those together and you have both of them, you become what we call an Algo Bros Plus member, and you're treated just like an Ultimate member, only you don't get a free hat. But you get a portfolio edit, you get a founder portfolio, you get to see the founders' portfolios, you get to see trade setups, but also the Bros Academy. We need to talk about this a lot more. People are learning a whole lot. We are going through doing live teaching lessons, answering questions, and teaching people how to do technical analysis. You have to be either an Ultimates member or an Algo Bros Plus member. Go sign up right now. One of the biggest things you can do in your world of investing is invest in your education, and that's where the bros come in. Go sign up with that down below. Let's look at KAS TA here, and we'll get our factoid and call it a day. Again, for all of our members, Q&A with Tshroom right after the live show. Where's my KAS chart? It's hiding from me. There it is. Right there between Doge and Jasmine. All right, so with KASPA, I love KASPA. It's one of my coins. It's one of the ones I hold. I love it. It's boring. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's been boring, right? We've been really bullish on this for a long time. We were bullish on it. People were bullish on it long before us. We got heavily bullish back around 4 or 5 cents. So we are profitable here at our channel. And if you've been following us, and if you bought KASPA when we said to buy KASPA, you're well in the profit. But if you have bought KASPA in the last year or less, you might not be in profit. And you've probably heavily considered getting out. I encourage you, don't give up just yet for reasons that I can't even explain on this chart. Fundamental reasons. There's reasons to stay in KASPA. For more on that, we're launching next week Alpha Bros. That's a whole new YouTube channel led by Crux, where he focuses on fundamentals. He is going to be an amazing resource for you guys to learn a whole lot more about the fundamentals of KASPA. But for this, let's look at the charts and see what is going on here. I will say, even though we've pulled back again, we've pulled back to a higher low overall. And it's not a clean trend line. This is more like a zone of support. Let me show you what I'm kind of looking at right here. In technical analysis, everyone loves the lines, but in reality, it's really more about zones. We have a zone of support in play here on KASPA over the last year and some change, which we bounced off the upper range of here again just a couple of weeks ago. But what are we seeing in the way of signals? Actually, I don't know if we have the daily buy signal. We don't have the daily buy signal because that's still negative money flow. Do we have longer? It's like sometimes it's weird. Sometimes you get a buy signal on a longer time frame and you don't have it on shorter ones. We're very close here. Even the 2-daily chart, you got the green reversal, obviously. You had the positive momentum. That's sideways money flow. So it's not officially a buy signal yet, but it's like it wants to be. We're about to cross bullish on the MACD on, I think, both the 2-daily. And we already crossed bullish on the MACD on the daily chart. But it hasn't officially flashed buy just yet, which means you have a lot of time. You have a lot of time here on KASPA before everything gets going. Obviously, one of the biggest factors holding KASPA back is it's really hard to get a hold of. It's really hard to get access to KASPA. Guess where one of the places you can get it? Down below, we don't talk about it as much, but CoinW, one of our partners, is an exchange. That's where I hold my spot KASPA. So if you've been looking at it and you're saying, I want to invest in KASPA long term, but I don't know where to get it, don't wait for Coinbase or Blofin to list, or don't wait for Coinbase or Binance to list it, because if you wait for them, we'll have already set new all-time highs and we'll be going a lot higher. Go buy it today with CoinW. That's the reason why you should have multiple exchanges. You get different coins at different places. But this is a coin I'm still extremely bullish on. I mean, long term, let's go back over here. This is one of those coins. It's just been riding off the weekly smart trail. That's very bullish. And it did it again here more recently. Last couple of weeks, we bounced off the weekly smart trail again. That's a very positive sign. Again, we're under a buy signal right now with KASPA that has price predictions as high as 27 cents over the next couple of months, right? That would be an increase in price currently of about 122%. That's very minimal. I think we go a lot higher than that. This is one of my coins. I think currently KASPA is ranked just inside the top 50. Is it number 40? Let's go look at this. KASPA is ranked number 47. Yeah, just inside the top 50. I think worst case scenario, this is a top 30 coin, in which case it goes from having a $3 billion market cap to having, again, top 30. We're talking about somewhere in the $30 to $40 billion range. I think there's a very real chance he's a top 20 coin. All of a sudden, we're talking about 50 billion or higher. I think this is a coin that should be like what it does is going to catch a lot of miners, make miners very happy. This is a coin that the high-end moon potential is 100 billion. Not guaranteeing it. I cannot guarantee that whatsoever. So I do continue to urge people, when you invest in anything, no matter what it is, invest responsibly. But the potential, the ceiling for this cycle could easily be $100 billion for Kaspa. And even though there's a lot you'd have to do with the tokenomics to get all the details, that is roughly a 30x, over a 30x potential left in Kaspa. That being said, it is boring right now. It isn't doing anything crazy, but it is at support. So again, if you were saying, hey, I want to invest again, you didn't want to invest here at 18 cents. You want to invest when we're back on support. And there's a lot of support happening right now with Kaspa based on the charts. You do, though. I'll say this. I'm going to continue to hold Kaspa. I'm going to continue to be extremely bullish on Kaspa. If you don't want to be, I'm not going to blame you. I would not call anyone a fool for saying, I'm looking at the Kaspa chart. I've looked at it be boring for over a year. I'm going to go find something else that shows more excitement. I understand that take completely, and you're not foolish for thinking that way. That being said, there are a lot of coins out there that people took that exact same thought process. Let's look at one of them real quick, and then we'll go to that factoid. I know it's already 401. Go to my chart here. Go back to last bear market and look at Cardano and what Cardano did in this whole range during the bear market in through COVID. A very boring chart. That was the wrong box. I didn't want to take that one. Very boring looking chart here for Cardano. People were saying it was dead. In March of 2020, it went even lower than the bear market. Just the amount of people who thought that Cardano was the worst investment you'd ever seen and it was dead in the water, they would go on to watch in the bull market. Cardano would rally from that very low 1.8 cent mark over $3, a 16,000, almost 200%. We're talking about a 163x, when literally about a year before that, people were saying it was dead. Guess what? We're early right now. We're very early, and people are going to tell you Kaspa's dead. And if you want to go other routes, there are so many investments that can make you a lot of money that are not named Kaspa. But I think this is still one to keep an eye on from a fundamental standpoint, from a long-term standpoint, what they can do and what they can solve for in the world of blockchain technology. Again, that's a fundamental question that Crux is going to cover a lot more in Alpha Bros. It is the reason, though, why it maintains its spot in my portfolio for the long term. So good question there. Thank you for the super chats, everybody. Again, if you want to give money and support the bros, support yourself as well. Go join a membership option today and be a part of our private community. Let's go ahead and go into our factoid today and call it a day. Make sure if you guys are leaving, smash that like button, hit subscribe. We are almost to 40,000 subscribers, but we need your help. Smay, we're going to bring you on here and keep it brief. What is our factoid of the day?
Oh, my gosh. You should not have been seeing that. You didn't see that. Did you read it?
So I saw which one was highlighted. I did not read the answers, so that's a problem.
That is the worst thing that could possibly ever happen to me. But we're going to go ahead and role play. So, Tim, go ahead and just...
What? We're going to... you just said it to me.
And I'm back. Hey, guys, so I'm here for the factoid. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and read it. This is the factoid brought to you by Decrypted.tax, everybody. All right. Dogecoin's community has a surprising history of philanthropy, including raising funds to send the Jamaican bobsled team to the Olympics. Which other charitable cause did Dogecoin donors help fund? A. Building a dog sanctuary in rural Japan. B. Providing clean water wells in Kenya. C. Launching a Dogecoin in space initiative. Or D. Restoring a historical crypt in Rome.
Now, to make these things interesting, Tshroom, really quickly, clearly B flash screen, right? And it could be that Smay made a mistake and he accidentally revealed the answer too early. But Smay's a smart guy. He's a witty guy. Let's just explore, because I don't actually know the answer to this question, right? I am not a Doge enthusiast, so I wouldn't know the answer here. I think it's B, right? I want the record show. But I could very easily see Smay creating a fake answer and revealing it to us for the chance to trick us into getting the wrong answer. So I still think we should think about this critically, but I just want to throw that out there. That being said, Tshroom, what are your thoughts?
I think that D is out. I don't think that following your logic that Smay is playing some 4D chess with us here. Yes. I think D is out. I don't think the Dogecoin community would care about a historic crypt. Although now that I'm saying that and hearing myself say it does kind of sound like crypto. So I don't know. Back to square one. Building a dog sanctuary, I think that's the leading contender would be A.
Yes. Oh, A or B. If I did not see that B flashed, I would have limited it down to A or B. And that being said, we have to remember, Smay's got that fun grin on his face. He might have known that I would know that he would try to trick me this way, in which case B is the right answer, and it was a double whodunit trickery. So I'm going to stick with B. I think the odds are ever in our favor with B. But I just want the record to show, if it's not B, I want like brownie points for figuring out that Smay has this type of trickery in it.
Well, all right. That's wonderful. So without further ado, let's go ahead and it is B. Because I'm a big idiot and I accidentally left it on the screen when we switched over here. So, the answer is B, everybody. Great job. The fact that some people still didn't guess B in the chat is astonishing to me. So, it is B, providing clean water to wells in Kenya, and this is incredible. Anyways, Tim, back to you.
I want the record to be clear here, Smay. Is what I said not fully up the alley of your personality?
I mean, yeah, could I do that? Probably. Yeah. But
in fact, I almost wonder, is that going to be a new new strategy?
No, but I can't take credit for this. This was seriously just a really silly oversight. So, as much as I want to be like, yes, I am so intelligent and I planned that, I did not. That was absolutely just a mistake. So anyways, back to you, Tim.
Smay, I'm really glad that you are with us now on the show every single day. Even though you don't contribute a lot of crypto talk, you always make me laugh. You always make me laugh one way or the other. If you guys enjoy Smay, show him some love in chat. However you want to show him love. Smash the like for sure, though. But comment Smay. Comment you love Smay. Tell us something. What's the way you guys would love to see us incorporate Smay even more into the show and make him uncomfortable? I would love to do it. That being said, Tshroom, anything you have for the people as we wrap out the show? We're a couple minutes late here, but, it's been a fun show.
Yeah, just going to be jumping into the Q&A after the stream. And, make sure you join me there. If you're hungry for knowledge, hungry to capitalize on these markets, trillions of dollars trading hands every single day. And some people are learning how to make money in those markets.
There we go. Well, if you're still watching to this point after the last 5 minutes of nonsense, you guys love the bros. And guess what? We love you guys as well. Make sure to drop that like, hit subscribe. Help the channel grow, though. I want to encourage you guys, share this channel with your friends, with your family. Help us get over 40, 50, who knows, $100,000. I think that's one of my goals. Maybe I'm too small. I think by the end of 2025, I would love to see the Investing Bros be over 100,000 subscribers. If you think that's a good goal and you want to help us accomplish it, go share this with 5 of your friends right now and tell them to subscribe to the bros. We love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Guess what? Tonight, X Spaces, 8 p.m. You don't want to miss it. What's the topic? I don't know. I got to go think about that here in a second. But come hang out at 8 p.m. It's going to be a lot of fun. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Adios.